Hello everyone, I'm Mikasa here back with more Sano Drop Fall into Poison. Continuing on where we left off, we started a new game so we can unlock the other endings, and currently right now we're playing as Sayo, and yeah, we're waiting for Minato, so let's see what happens. The next day I entered the coffee shop at 5 p.m. I come right on time, but there's no sign of Minato. Since I don't participate in any clubs, I still arrive in plenty of time even after stopping off at my house. I take a seat by the window and order a club soda. The new sandwich posted by the door looks delicious, but as I am not hungry, I don't order one. I wait for her for about 5 minutes. Oh, there she is. Sorry I kept you waiting. It took a little while to get changed. I thought that might be the case. I anticipated this by changing before coming. Be that as it may, in an area that as heavily patrolled as Manten, it's easier to move about in regular clothes than in school uniforms. Still, with Minato looking like an elementary schooler, I have my doubts as how to effective this will be. Oh, wait a sec. As soon as Minato arrives and puts her back down, she stands up right away. Some time passes before she returns, having bought a sandwich and an iced cafe au lait. I haven't eaten yet. Can we get a bite? You're asking me after you already bought it. Are you sober? Time to eat. Ugh. I feel irritated by Minato's cooperation in my investigation. I'm so sorry. I had to yawn. In my investigation of Manten Aquarium, it's essential. As Minato eats her sandwich, I drink my club soda little by little, slowly. It's still roast beef and macaroni cheese sandwich. I think that's macaroni because it can't be mascarpone cheese. Mascarpone, is that an actual cheese? Is that an actual cheese? Because if it is, I gotta look it up. That caught my interest earlier. The thick acidic scent that waves my ways, without a doubt a dressing with balsamic vinegar as its main ingredient. The seemingly homemade roast beef doesn't seem to have many slices, but each one is thick. The cooked parts and the tinge of redness seem to create a good balance. I do apologize. I can't stop yawning. I don't know why. And I've been awake for like 5 hours, 6 hours. Sayo-chan, what's up? Nothing. Ah, you want a bite? Say ah. Are you stupid? Oh, you don't? This is my first time eating with a friend, so I'm not good at reading the situation. I'm not so good at this kind of thing myself. Still, don't just call me your friend. To be sure, her observation was correct, but I don't exactly want her to share her sandwich with me. If I'm going to have some, I'll buy my own. Why? Because it'll be an indirect kiss. Minato eats the rest self-consciously. There's not really much conversation, and only when she's finished drinking her iced cafe au lait does she suggest let's go. That was delicious, but I'm full. Probably ate too much. What? You knew you weren't going to finish it earlier? If I had known, I would have accepted your offer. So it wasn't that you didn't want it? I have my reasons. Well then, let's try sharing next time. I wonder if there will be a next time. The rumors of Manten Aquarium as well as the truth, all of it might be revealed today. I'm guessing that this is when the two of them went to the aquarium and both of them got stuck. I'm gonna guess Minato died, and that's when Sayo met Mayumi, who was looking for Himeno/Mari. 2 hours later, our efforts prove fruitless as we stand still at the entrance. With no results, the air between us is gloomy. How weird. Yesterday when I was walking, the door was wide open. I see. Do you hate me? Not in particular, although I didn't like you to begin with. Why does the discussion of whether or not I like her keep coming up? What's most important right now is asserting the truth of the rumors. Minato doesn't appear to be lying, in which case The mystery of the deep sea fish booth deepens further. What was the difference between yesterday and today? The full moon? We have no choice but to look back inductively. I wondered if it was because we were together, so we tried one at a time, but nothing changed. So what else? Minato appears to be in thought, but finally a troubled look appears on her face, and she answers with a tone of supplication. The difference? I don't know. Why? Well, tell me again from the start. From the beginning? I came to have fun at the seemingly normal Manten Aquarium. Some guy called out to me. Speaking of which, I heard him talking about Manten Aquarium's urban legends. So we need to go to him. If we don't find him, we won't learn anything. You don't remember anything in particular about him, do you? Was it Keiji? When he called out to me, I thought he was hitting on me. He was a tall man, but anything more detailed than that. It was Keiji. Kenji. Keiji. Whatever his name is, I can't remember. She says, looking flustered. I wonder how optimistic we can be. If our ambush wasn't Manten Aquarium, we may actually meet the guy Minato's talking about. I quickly denied these thoughts. Despite hanging around Manten Aquarium for a while, we find no clue, so we go to the club to do some research. In other words, we're going completely in circles. Sayo-chan, are you mad? I'm not really mad at you. Sayo-chan, you're a detective or something? What? Are you stupid? You just don't talk like a normal person is all. Sayo-chan, are you investigating Manten Aquarium? It doesn't matter, does it? Not good. I want to be your friend, Sayo-chan. I don't want you to hate me over something like this. Ridiculous. I click my tongue, then heave a sigh. Minato's point of view is always so different from mine. I have not the slightest idea how the conversation ended up this way. This is enough. I'll investigate on my own. Sayo-chan. As I started to leave Manten Aquarium, Minato calls out after me. If you have time this weekend, I want to come back here with you. If you're looking into those rumors, Sayo-chan, I'll help you. Why? I told you, didn't I? I want to be your friend. I want to do all the kind of stuff with you, Sayo-chan. That's why I'm asking you the reason why. Probably because you like music, and because you listen to what I have to say. But it could be something different. I don't really understand it myself. It doesn't matter to me whether or not you're with me. Your thoughts aren't wrong. It's just that I'm asking for my own reasons. I say this curtly, and Minato looks down. After a brief pause, I continue. Next Friday, I'll come here once more. I'll stop off at the cafe by the train station around the same time. Do as you like. Sayo-chan. Later. Okay, later. Even I don't know why I said it like that. It wasn't that I like or dislike Minato. She shouldn't mean anything to me. She sounds like a tsundere. I don't feel at all like I've gotten any closer to the truth. Even so, I have a gut feeling that Minato's experience is directly connected to the truth. Even if Minato herself turns out to be useless, there's no mistake that something may happen that involves her. Not even attempting to hide my irritation, I walk along clicking my tongue numerous times. After school, my homeroom teacher suddenly call me out. Minato Miku is homesick, and I have to take important paperwork to her. I don't care if there's a semester exams. So I didn't pay attention. The family can't come, then friends or ex would deliver papers. When the homeroom teacher said this, my name apparently came up. I thought about protesting since he was a teacher, he should take it himself. But then I remember I was on cleaning duty, and I could use this. Sorry, as an excuse to skip out. It's better delivering something alone than having to do anything with my vapid classmates. After school, I changed and headed for the address the home teacher gave me. Is it that she's experienced that from phenomena where it feels like she's seeing fishes float around her and she's slowly drowning? So it's here. Using a private railway line from the west gate of Manten Station, it takes about 10 minutes. I buy drinks at a supermarket near the station. It's not that far from the station, but even in the small distance I travel, I get the impression that I've long since left the city. Minato's home is on the 12th floor of an apartment building. The building is beautiful and seems to have been built within the last 5 years. The entrance is serene, like a hotel lobby illuminated by warm colored lighting. I press the button for the intercom, and after waiting for about a minute, I hear Minato's voice. Hi. Hurry and unlock it. The auto lock is released, and I take the elevator up. It's wide enough to fit about 8 people in one car. The interior of her apartment shares its orange-colored lighting with the entrance. The door faces away from the highway, causing the neighboring apartment to seem close. Well, that's pretty nice, to be honest. Sayo-chan, thanks. I just came because I was asked to. Minato's apartment is as pretty as I imagined it would be. There is love furniture and everything is kept meticulously tidy. I figured she would be bad at keeping things clean based on her carefree personality, but it doesn't appear to be the case. There are a few utensils in the kitchens, and on closer inspection, dust is gathered in places out of reach. Well, that's a letdown. I can't venture a guess at the type of life she leads. I'll leave the documents on the table in your living room, along with some sports drink, club soda, and fruits. I'm opening your fridge. Hey, the meat and natto in here are going bad. The moment I open the fridge, a foul odor wafts out. There's mold growing on the meat, and natto is impossible to describe. Without a single word, I toss them into the trash. Most of the trash appears to be wrappers for side dishes and junk food. Figure she barely cooks at all. Even I'm not this bad. I had no idea. Damn, natto's already bad? There's a difference between fermentation and spoilage. Even though it's in the fridge, it's on the verge of going bad. Are your parents not around? Is that why you had me bring these peepers in their stead? I borrow a glass and rinse it out, and then pour club soda inside. I decide to have a drink before I head home and sit down on the sofa. Minato seems to have improved after having slept for half the day, so she pours one of the sports drinks I bought into a glass and sits down on the living room sofa. She sits down beside me, but it's big enough so far that it doesn't feel cramped. After taking a sip, Minato responds. You see, my mother is a single parent. Without lemon, I guess I'm less than satisfied. I glance at the clock and see it's already 4:30. The numbers on the clock leave a bigger impression on me than Minato's lonely expression. It was definitely made in Italy. I look around, nothing that she owns many expensive things, including the furniture. Minato gives a small smile at the fact that I showed no reaction. Sorry for saying something like that. It has nothing to do with you. That sad expression seems to be saying that it still isn't enough, but I don't exactly care to hear her story. Looking around her apartment gives me a general understanding, but those words confirm that the fact that her mother rarely comes home. However, none of that has anything to do with me. For some time, the only sound is that of the clock hand. Time passes as if it plays a fixed rhythm. I clean up my empty glass and see Minato. Well, I have to go. Hey, Sayo-chan, are we done for visiting the aquarium we planned for this Friday? Minato asked me this after I stood up. It's not exactly a plan, but why wouldn't we be? My objective hasn't been met yet. You should know that much. Good. I'll see you then. See you then. We go to the same scope of weird is weird. This is how a relationship is. I don't want to be seen as being close to somebody, at least not enough so they might think I have a friend, which is a possibility if they see us talking at school. I'll walk you to the entrance, she says as I'm already on my way out. Knew it. Minato finishes speaking, but it's a dull thought that causes me to turn around. Minato? Minato has collapsed on the spot. I call out to her, but there is no response, so I walk back over to her. When I touch her to sit her up, I feel that she has a high fever. Following her fall, her breathing has become ragged. You push yourself too hard. Why? I didn't push myself too hard. You came all this way. I just wanted to talk to you. Don't talk. Anyway, you need to lie down on the sofa. It helps that the sofa is so big. As I help her, Minato lies down. Minato has misinterpreted things. It's not that I came to her house for personal reasons, much less to chat. However, now isn't the time to chastise her about such things. Minato's fever was very high. She's short of breath from sitting up, and it seems to be getting harder and harder for her to breathe. Ugh, I'm fine, Sayo. Don't speak. I fell a bowl with water, dipped in a washcloth on the side, and placed it on Minato's forehead. Sweat is building up, so I used a separate cloth to wipe it away. A little bit of sports drink should be okay, so I poured some in her mouth. I'm worried she will be dehydrated. Then there's this May weather. It's been really hot lately, so she probably really tired from that too. That's basically all I can do, so I devote the rest of my energy to things like changing the water in the bowl. Her physical condition hasn't improved, but the symptoms have subsided somewhat. As this thought crosses my mind and I glance around at the clock, 8 o'clock has already rolled around. Oh geez, that fast. Minato seems sleepy, so I lent her my shoulder and put her to bed. As I do, I decide I should leave. According to Minato, her mother should be home soon. Honestly, I feel worried about leaving her to a parent that has to live this lifestyle. But Minato insists that she's alright, so I give in. Worrying won't help. I've always had a strong constitution, but it's because of your eating habits. Say something to your mother tomorrow and reevaluate your diet. The cause is clear. Having suggested that, I continue with later. Sayo-chan, I'll get better by Friday. It's fine, so be quiet. I'll go to Manten Aquarium regardless of whether you're with me or not. There's no need for you to worry about it. So like you, Sayo-chan. I began to hear the soft breathing of someone who's fallen asleep. As I take a step away and think it over, I heave a sigh, realizing what happened from here on doesn't concern me. Get better soon, otherwise it'll leave a bitter taste in my mouth. It's more likely that she can't hear me, but I realize at the moment her breathing has gotten louder. Just like that, I leave Minato's home behind. Why is the screen red? Oh my god! Apparently it was that very night that Minato left from her apartment building. Is this from the urban legend? That, okay, if I remember correctly from the beginning, it said that there was a girl, she saw the deep sea fish booth, everything turned red, and then she was outside her apartment building, she was putting her hand towards the moon, the blood was flowing out, and then she fell? Something like that? Oh my lord. She didn't crash into the ground, instead getting caught in a tree with almost no injury, but it seems she won't wake up. The point of impact was probably pretty bad. There is also the possibility that she hit her head. I heard that it wasn't a suicide. I've heard talk that it was because she tried to sit out on her balcony. But that's hard to believe. All that's going around school is the rumor that Minato took her own life. Being unable to wake up despite having no injuries, the rumor floating around the hospital is that she lost her life energy. The thing that a person needs in order to keep on living. I wish that at least the doctors would refuse such nonsense. It's only a matter of time before her mysterious jump becomes entwined with urban legends surrounding Manten Aquarium. One of the most sensational things, with no basis in reality, becoming part of the rumor. I don't have any desire to track down the whole truth, so for me, the information I've gotten up to now on the subject is enough. Of course, it seems that she won't be coming to school anymore. She isn't getting any visitors either. With nothing but unanswered questions, it seems I'm left with a bad aftertaste after all. It reminds me of the flavorless taste of club soda with no lemon in it. Oh, Minato! On Friday night, despite all this, I go to the coffee shop. Even though I know she won't come, I felt like I should keep up my end of the promise. After I wait for an hour, Minato doesn't come. After that, I head for Manten Aquarium alone, but it's a fruitless endeavor. I couldn't find the one spreading all the rumors after all. Sounds like silky strawberries performing again today. I sit down at the furthest edge of the bar and put my drink to my lips. After the director, my father passed away. My mother took custody of me. My mother divorced my father when I was so young. I don't know why they did it, but she probably had money issues with my business-consumed dreamer of a father. My mother lived with her parents, my grandparents, and the daughter of the man who divorced their daughter. I was seen as nothing more than a burden, and those days were lonely and sad. Not a single member of my family came the day of my junior high entrance ceremony. When I came home, several days' worth of meals for me were in the refrigerator, and money for daily expenses, far more than a student would ever need, were left on the table. Like in those days, I hope they still loved me, as they had paid for me to attend an expensive private school. But I got my answer. The impression that I got from the neighbors was the reason I was able to attend the private school was because of my father's insistence. On top of the desk was a memo pad with the words, "We'll be on a trip until next week," written on it, and the money just left sitting there. Their car also had disappeared from the parking lot. The school was in the area, so no one knew when my entrance ceremony was. Sending me to a school so far away was the same thing as my mother putting me out of sight, out of mind. That was fine with me. I came to the conclusion that the reason my father had custody of me was because my mother hadn't wanted me from the start. Then on the way home, they all died in an accident. What? My mother, grandparents, and also a young man that was with them. So my inheritance passed down to me. There was a struggle against my relatives to see who would get custody of me. When I saw the amount of my inheritance, I realized the divorce was so that my mother's family's assets wouldn't be depleted by my father's debts. Rather than be sad, I looked into the future ahead, using the name of some relative I didn't care for. I rented an apartment near the school I attended, and going through my inheritance, began living alone. Learning the full truth did not sadden me. Instead, on the occasion of my father's passing, the feeling I had that I was always alone was irritating, whatever, for me once more. This is a lot of reading. Oof. I miss Minato. When I come back to the present, Silky Star is about to perform. Before the first song finishes, I leave the club. Tonight's song resonates too heavily within my heart. On the way home, I'm reminded of when I walked to the station with Minato. When I came here before, the lights of town at night are so pretty. I realized I prefer walking alone. The moon isn't out tonight, though. Ah! I remember that ridiculous rumor. Like that on the day of the full moon. The water in the tank turns to blood of the fish with human faces. Swim about, or those who get lost in the closed down deep sea fish booth never come home. Worthless stories written on the internet. Not caring where I heard it, I clicked my tongue in the center of the road. The answer has been there from the start. The day that something would happen. That's several days later. I pay a visit to Manten Aquarium. I occasionally hear about Minato's condition, but there's apparently no change. Days being Sunday, the town is full of people. Manten Aquarium is empty. Those rumors must have some influence to them. Shortly after the incident with Minato, the rumors has gained even more credibility. Even without knowing the truth, somewhere subconsciously, it must seem plausible enough. Let's go. On the day of the full moon, I am ready. Even if it means losing my life to the full moon, I will find the truth. Because there's nothing more I can lose. And this is the day I went to the aquarium with Himeno. Huh. Before she realized that the girl was standing before an imposing door. The girl occasionally came to Manten Aquarium alone. She watched the manta race, she watched the jellyfish, and finally she decided it was time to go home. Where is this? She had her doubts, but there should be nothing else there except for the aquarium. She assured herself that she had probably wandered off onto a side path. The door before her had a large padlock hanging from it, just as she had heard. It was unlocked and merely dangling there. Gulp. The girl drew in a breath. Being locked would usually mean that it was a place she shouldn't enter. Being open just meant that a staff member had forgotten to lock, so going in was out of the question. Her curiosity piqued. She was past the point of persuasion. Her imagination ran wild and her mind raced at the prospect of what might lie beyond the door. Just for a little bit. She opened the door and saw lots of glass tanks. Several types of fish hailing from the deep seas, from football fish and oarfish to pelican eels and barrel eels, were swimming about. Why isn't this an exhibit? She thought it over, wondering why this would be a closed-off area behind her, the door shut on its own. The guard spaced out, staring at the deep-sea fish swimming about. They would leap from tank and swim in midair. The entirety of the room was filled with the fish and their ocean. Though it was an unnatural occurrence, the guard treated it quite normal. Wasn't there originally a deep-sea fish booth that was shut down? It says Minato? She suddenly remembered at the moment her surroundings were dyed a deep red. The water in the tanks. This is the opening! The opening that I was saying earlier about that, that she found the deep sea booth and the fish and the blood. Oh my god. When she opened her eyes, the girl was back in her own room. It was well into the night. She couldn't remember how she got home after all that. But more importantly, she had a bad feeling about something else. It isn't red here. She became aware of how hard it suddenly was to breathe. No matter how hard she gasped, she was unable to get oxygen into her body. Like the fish who couldn't breathe anywhere but in the water, she couldn't breathe unless she was inside that red color. She was convinced. On impulse, she threw open the window, leaned out, and thrust a hand outside. She couldn't inhale the wind flooding her room. She could only smell its milky, unpleasant scent. More. At that moment, the girl's body was tossed into the air. For just a second, her body seemed to float like a fish in the sea. Her room was on the 12th floor of her apartment building. In her fading consciousness, the girl watched her blood flow into the slave from her body. It's red. Only then could she breathe. Now everything would be fine. The girl smiled. The full moon in the night sky smiled too. Oh, that is so cool. So that was Minato in the beginning of the opening. That is really cool. I actually love the concept. And I'm gonna leave it off here because that was interesting as hell. And I'm gonna leave it here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next part.